Yeah, MLB Data Warehouse. Where the spreadsheets flow and the takes get spicy. John, Tim, Doc, let's go. Welcome to the warehouse. Stat stack to the ceilings. Exit below's flying. Launch angles got a feeling. Tim in the corner with the prospect report. Reading fan graphs, blurbs like it's off-course sport. Junior in AA, Tim's losing.
August 14th, Waiver Wire. Jon and John are here. John Allen, John Anderson. This is by far the furthest I've gone into the season, actually consistently doing waiver wire stuff. I was all on my own last year, and I just didn't come through for people, but I got help this year, and we are going to finish this year out. John Allen, into the stretch weeks, there's probably a month left in most fantasy seasons, as most leagues don't use the last week. I guess roto leagues all do, so misspoke there. But how are you doing? Any big chances on any of your teams to take home some prizes?
Yeah, I got about 3 or 4 teams that are either in first or second or somewhere around there. But I spent most of my day yesterday trying to figure out a trade to get a team that's in fifth up into the top 3 money spots. Yeah. Somebody else's team. And then they have a pretty big prospect pool. So I'm looking to deal Lindor and Chris Sanchez and get back some names like DePaula and Hope and a lot of those Dodger prospects.
How many leagues are you in?
I'm ashamed to say this, 20.
20. And they're all dynasty?
No. One. Yeah, one's a redraft.
Okay, one. So yeah, that's like a full-time job for you.
Yes, it is. It is another full-time job. So
you got to do something with your free time. The idle hands are the devil's playground.
Exactly.
Especially for young men. We're not young men, but young men, get busy, man. Do not sit around and just waste time entertaining yourself. You will go down a bad path, both financially, physically, spiritually, all of it. So that's my free life advice. Just do something, go type. These jobs don't exist anymore, I guess. I remember you could get online and go just do data entry or type up contracts or something for a little bit of money. I don't think I ever did those things, but all those jobs are gone. So I don't know. Good luck to you, I guess. But learn something. And we're going to, in the meantime, for now, let's talk about some waivers for Fantasy Baseball Week 19, whatever you want to call it. I just threw this on here. The article will be out, as always, written. And the podcast is free. I think there'll be a paywall. Is there? No, we don't paywall these. Yeah, these are all always totally free, right?
You're talking to the man who would know, so.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this one will be free because I said it. It's Free Content Friday at MLB Data Warehouse. So I just threw this on here at the top. Just some, I think a couple of these names, at least one of these names will show up again, but just some good matchups to get ahead of. Patrick Sandoval, not a good pitcher, not really a fantasy guy, even when he's going well. It doesn't have a fastball, kind of goes 4.2, 4.1 innings, whatever. Not a great strikeout rate. But at Pittsburgh, as a lefty, that is about as good as it gets. And then he gets to go to San Francisco. So, that's, I don't know, the top 5 teams you'd want to stream against right now are the Giants, Pirates, Athletics on the road.
Marlins
are up there. But, the Pirates and Giants are certainly come to your head. So decent ratio spot there for Sandoval. Probably not going to get any quality starts with the way he's going, but Gage Jump, he's going to start tonight, and there's a 2:20 game. So by the time this is being listened to, the lock might have started. You probably don't want to use Jump at home anyway, but he gets to go to Minnesota, and we're going to talk about him a little bit later too. But decent matchups there. Anytime Jump and Lopez are on the road, I'm very interested. Grayson Rodriguez, another guy pitching tonight versus Kansas City. I don't hate that. And then at Houston, which is middle of the pack, whatever. And then versus Cleveland. Cleveland with the no strikeouts, no run loss last night. I think that's happened twice in the last 3 years or something like that. So Cleveland gets a lot of contact done, but they just don't hit homers and don't score a lot of runs. And Grayson Rodriguez has been okay lately. Knock on wood, probably won't last, but looking like not a total loser lately. Brady Singer gets to go to he gets to face the Marlins and then the Cardinals, which isn't great, and then he gets to go to the Giants. And Cody Bradford at Athletics, which I don't think is terrible as a lefty who just kind of throws a ton of strikes. He's an interesting case. Really low strikeout rate. I think he went 7 innings against the Angels with 2 strikeouts, but only gave up 3 runs or something like that. But he just throws the ball down the middle of the pipe and should have a good whip for you. And then the great spot facing the Angels again at home for his next start. All of that assumes that no injuries happen, no bullpen games happen. Once you get, especially like for Grayson, if you're looking at this, I have the next 3 scheduled starts. Like the third one is always like quite likely to change because that's like, 12 days away or whatever it is, and things can change. But Sandoval, Jump, Grayson, Singer, Bradford should all be very widely available and good matchups ahead. But let's get into the shallow league pitcher targets. I just threw Walbert Urania on here. We recommended him last week, and he started the week very poorly, or 2 starts ago he was bad, but just another like clean quality start for him. He's throwing really hard. I just think he should be owned, especially in like a quality start league. I guess the wins won't be there. Strikeout rate's kind of middling, but he's been really good for a while outside of that one. So I threw him on here just to say, like, I really believe in Walbert Urania. And I'll talk about mine, and then we'll let you cover the guys you threw on. Aaron Nola, I know it's another like, what's this guy talking about? Like, I'm going to lose my credibility, but Nola just has been better. He's got a pretty decent Sierra this year. Good, the K to walk ratio is like 17%. Had a really nice outing last night in the cornfields against the Twins. I think he struck out 5 innings.
Yeah, he struck out 17 in the last 10 innings. Yeah,
took out this curveball. I mean, and he's a major league pitcher. He pitches deep into the year. He knows how to do that. The fastball's gone. He's nothing like he was 5 years ago, but the curveball is still really good, and he's shown some results there. And even when it's gone bad, it's been mostly because of just an extraordinarily high home run to fly ball rate, which maybe it'll stay high, but it's like 25% or something crazy like that. So some good spots ahead for Nola, and I don't hate it at all. Andrew Painter as well. Maybe you can add on here if you're buying into this at all. I've just been noticing that Andrew Painter, around 30% owned for the Phillies, has come back up from the minors with he scrapped the splitter. He turned it into a changeup, and the changeup's been awesome, and he just looks a lot better. Do you have anything on Painter?
Yeah, no, I agree. The changeup is the new pitch. I think it's a pitch that he probably should have gone to before. It's a little strange on the whole Andrew Painter thing because he has been such a highly thought after prospect. Had the arm injury, came back from it, was kind of meh. And it took a while before the Phillies figured out what they were going to do with him. It looks like they finally figured it out, though.
Yeah, he's 20. I mean, he's got a big fastball velocity. It hasn't really turned into great like underlying marks on the fastball. It still doesn't have like good shape or whatever you want to call it. But he's got velo. He's 23 years old, not even 23 and a half yet. So maybe it's more of a dynasty pick, a buy low opportunity, but always good to see when a talented arm makes a change. And that's what Painter has done. Cade Anderson, we're going to hit some kind of rookie eligibility deadline here this weekend, right?
Yeah, to still be eligible for all of the bonuses that you could possibly get in terms of getting an extra draft pick and such, you would need to come up on or after the 14th, which is obviously today. Okay. So people have been wondering when Cade Anderson's coming up. The Mariners traditionally go ahead and jump their prospects pitching wise from AA right up to the majors. Obviously, they just traded Castillo at the deadline. Seems like they could bring him back. Bring up Anderson now. So we'll see if it's going to happen. Obviously, he's had a huge season at AA. And it's kind of strange that he's been stuck there other than the fact that the Mariners traditionally don't want to send their guys to Tacoma and get beat around in the PCL. So
I tweeted yesterday, I looked at the Mariners probables. I've been holding Cade Anderson for a few weeks. I wanted to get ahead of it at the trade deadline. I was really hoping they would trade Hancock or Kirby. That was even rumored, but they traded Castillo, so they still didn't need a guy. So I picked up Cade Anderson, and it's like, okay, well, it didn't happen with the deadline, but this is the last. Now I have another reason to hold on because of this contractual change. He has been starting every 7 days. They gave him a couple weeks off from July 3rd to July 24th. He didn't pitch, and since then he pitched on the 24th, on the 31st, and the 7th. So it's a 7-day schedule. The tweet yesterday I had was that they hadn't announced their probables for tomorrow or Sunday. Now they have. It's Hancock Saturday, Wu on Sunday. But TBD on Tuesday, they go to Milwaukee. And I don't know if it's the 7-inning thing, if they're 7-day thing with Anderson, and they want to stick to that, that would mean he would pitch tonight. I guess I could go look at the AA probables, but we'll see. We'll see if he pitches today or tomorrow. That might put him on track for next weekend if they want to keep the 7-day thing. I don't know. I kind of wish I never would have bothered with him. He's been having just been, giving me nothing on the bench. And this is like a 10-team league redraft too, where it's like, I don't know. I was thinking maybe he'd come up, have some good starts, and maybe I could consider keeping him next year. It's only a 2-keeper thing, but nobody cares about my leagues anyway. But now it's a good time to give it another shot and see if it happens next week. Although he will be welcomed by the Brewers in Milwaukee. I don't know if teams would do teams prefer to have these big time debuts at home, or is
there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to that. That's for sure.
Unless you're trying to sell some extra tickets. I don't think the Mariners are in that game. They're still kind of in the playoff race. Somewhat. I mean, they're kind of fading away, which doesn't help the case either. Tyler Mahle, man, he was really good in San Francisco and so bad on the road, and then he gets traded, and you're like, okay, all of a sudden his home starts aren't even in San Francisco, but all he's done is dominate for 2 starts with the Braves. Did you see anything here?
In terms of the stuff, it still seems to be relatively the same. But there's just some magic that the Braves seem to be able to sprinkle on these really average arms to make them look a lot better. Plus the fact they do have a very good bullpen. So really they're only asking him to get through 5 innings. And that way you can kind of negate some of the problems that they might run into. So I think he's going to be solid the rest of this season for the Braves. I would expect pretty good numbers the rest of the way out.
Yeah, he went from a team that has 50 wins right now to a team that has 73. Braves have won 60% of their games. That's actually the second best in the National League. The Dodgers have gone under 60%. So a great win bonus upgrade there for him. The splitter and 4-seamer. Really, it's just the splitter. It's like Kevin Gausman situation where, it's like a flow chart. Like, does he have the splitter tonight? If yes, great start. If no, it all goes terribly. But it's been good. It's hard for me to believe that the Braves were, people want to think that like the Braves are like sitting there like all season, like, ooh, the Giants should just have him change his splitter grip a lace this way, and then he'll be awesome. But we won't tell them. We'll trade for him, and then we'll change it, and then he'll be great. Like, that's kind of how people like to think. I just can't believe it's that simple. But if that was your thought, it has been proven true through 2 starts. But I agree. I think 12-team leagues, Adam, great team, win bonuses. The bullpen will not blow many of the leads they have. And that's a pretty good lineup. Acuna has been in the lineup for a couple weeks, not hurt. Baldwin's healthy. Olsen, those guys are gone. So great team context there.
I just traded for Acuna, so please keep it together.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath, man. Jacob Webb, we got a Cubs closer. Palencia's coming back though, right? You put what?
I don't know about that. Yeah, no, we keep waiting for him to come back, but he never seems to get back. Like, it's always like, oh, he's on a rehab, he's about to come back, and then it's like, oh, he's gonna sit out a couple days. So I think this feels like it's all kind of left over from the World Baseball Classic. Palencia was the closer for the Venezuelan team through a lot in February, March. And that usually doesn't work well for closers to be used up that much early. And it showed this year. He has been pretty blah with the Cubs for the most part. Webb, like I put here, last 3 appearances, 3 saves. So feels like he's the guy for now.
He has 7 of the 18 Cubs saves since June 1st. It was funny that the Cubs have 18 saves since June 1st. I don't know where that ranks, but with Palencia, like, he was pitching fine the first couple months. The Cubs just never found their way into saves opportunities. I know it well because I drafted Miller and Palencia as my 2 closers in the league I care most about. And I was like, well, saves are going to come for Palencia. It's not his fault. The opportunities just aren't there. And then he got hurt when the opportunities started showing up. But yeah, Webb has held the job down nicely. A 2.22 ERA, 102 WHIP, 19% K- walk for Webb in the Cubs bullpen. So that's your shallow league targets. It was Urania, Cade Anderson, Tyler Mahle, Jacob Webb, Aaron Nola, Andrew Painter. Priority-wise, this list isn't always ordered in order of priority. I'd say probably Mahle, Urania, Anderson, Painter, Nola, and then Webb doesn't really fit in because he's a reliever. Also, MLB Data Warehouse, if you're a subscriber, every Wednesday-ish, a bullpen tracker comes out, and you can go see the names with the saves and the holds popping up and stuff. Our anonymous writer does a nice job tracking all that. I benefited from it quite a bit. There are lots of potential closers there on the waiver wire to grab some saves if you need them. Deep League pitcher targets. Speaking of relievers, this is another one. You're gonna have to do this one. I've never heard of this guy, the Angels' new closer.
Yeah, Sammy Natera has been in their minors for a while. He is a big dude with a big fastball. Your classic closer look. He has been a reliever pretty much his entire prospect career. He is a little older. I think he's about to turn 26. But that's a nice spot for a guy who's going to be a definite reliever. The Angels really don't have any closers at the moment. They didn't have any closers to begin with this season, so he really feels like he's going to be the closer of not just now, but definitely next year. And he's a guy that I'm grabbing wherever I can grab him. Hopefully you were like me and you grabbed him 4 weeks ago when he first came up. Yeah, he's a guy that's getting it done.
Does he have saves? Yes. I'm not paying attention. I'm just a bad fantasy player.
Well, it's the Angels. It's hard to pay attention to begin with.
Yeah, he's got 3 saves since June 1st, and the other 2 with multiple saves are Zephyr, Jon, and Yates, and they are not on that team anymore.
Yes.
So cool. Okay. Yeah, Natera has a 50. Well, let me do the full season for you. He's got a 40% K rate in the majors, 27 innings. So that is a good find. And if I hadn't blown all my ads in my main league, I would go at him. But we only have 5 a week, and I used them all. I used one on Ronel Blanco, thinking he would get a nice matchup this week, and then he got sent to the bullpen. But back to starters, AJ Smith-Shawver. Go ahead.
Yeah. Obviously, Bryce Elder blew up the last time out. I don't know how much longer the Braves are going to keep throwing him out there and hoping. But if they don't, I think Smith-Shawver is who they're going to turn to. He's coming off of TJ and started the season relatively late, got pulled up a few weeks ago and sent directly back down to AAA. He's been hanging out in AAA, just had a 5+ inning performance that was scoreless this past week. I think he's the guy over J.R. Ritchie or Owen Murphy that if the Braves need another starter, he's going to be the one. And like I said, 23 was looking pretty good before he got hurt last year. I think he could return to be that guy.
He had a big home run issue in the minors back in 2023, but that's not the case this year. His K rates in the minors have always been around 30%. This year, 31%. With a nice 8% walk rate and a 0.3 home run per 9. We've only seen 1 major league outing from him this year. That was 2 weeks ago, July 29th. 4.1 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks against the Mets. So, yeah, maybe they'll finally get something from him. Although he's another one of those guys that like you have fatigue on because it feels like he got called up for the first time like 3 years ago, and you might think, oh, okay, it's never going to happen. But he is 23 years old. He will turn 24 in November. So he was one of those like 20-year-old call-ups that you probably think he's older than he actually is. So a good ad for right now in a 14, 15 team league, and then definitely a dynasty guy for next year if they can figure that out. I threw on 3 ugly names here. Jacob Lopez. I've written about him a lot. If you read the daily notes and if you read the post I had yesterday about some pitchers, you already know what I'm going to say. But Lopez got sent down to the minors in like June. And again, like this sounds bonkers that I'm recommending this guy, but hear me out, man. 6 starts, 28.1 innings since coming back to the majors, a 2.22 ERA, a 1.02 whip, a 29% strikeout rate, a 9% walk rate. What's 29 minus 9, John?
That would be 20.
That is a 20% K minus walk rate. And that's one of the rules. I don't know if it made the MLB fantasy baseball 10 commandments. I don't think it did. But the rule is if you go 5 starts, at least, with a 20% or greater K minus walk rate, you pick the guy up. This is, I know he's in Sacramento. He's a fly ball pitcher. And this is maybe one of the exceptions to that rule. But you're going to argue with a 20% K minus walk, a 102 whip in 28.1 innings? I wouldn't argue with it. I understand not wanting to start him in Sacramento, but on the road, go for it, and he'll get the Twins in Minnesota next, I believe. Gage Jump as well. Already talked about him. This stuff is interesting, right? Lefty, good velo. One of the hardest thrown left-handed four-seam fastballs, and he's had 2 good starts in a row. Have you seen anything on Jump or?
Yeah, no, I agree. He got blown up one time at home, so he hasn't really been that affected by pitching in Sacramento. But yeah, he's a guy that has pretty good stuff. Has put up pretty solid numbers for a rookie.
Right.
And another guy who I think is 22, 23. So definitely a very interesting dynasty buy, especially because their future is not forever in Sacramento.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was in Vegas last week. They came and visited, and I picked him up from the South Bend airport. How about that? There's a South Bend airport that he was able to
There better be.
Yeah.
How does everybody go to see the Fighting Irish if there's no airport?
Well, yeah, either that or you go to Chicago and drive an hour and a half. But he showed me pictures of the Las Vegas ballpark. It is being built. It is happening. So I mean, I guess I probably could have found that out on the internet, but I have a firsthand, not AI risk, definite. You can mark it down. JA MLBDW source. The Athletics park is being built, and they should be on schedule for a 2027 move there. So in dynasty leagues, it's a good time to get these younger Athletics pitchers who will get a massive park upgrade. I guess we don't know that. We don't see where the fences are or whatever, but they're going to build it like a major league park. It's not going to be one of these silly things. Gage Jump, more on him though. A 0.87 home run per 9 in the majors this year. That's very good. And that's what you want to do in Sacramento, right? Like he's got a 27% strikeout rate and that low home run per 9. Maybe it can't stay there pitching in Sacramento, but he has 14 starts. He's only given up homers in 3 of them. So 11 of 14. He's avoided the thing you want to avoid pitching anywhere, but especially in Sacramento. It's just that he's given up 7 in those 3 starts. Give up 3, 2, and 2. So, if you started him every time, you'd be pretty happy with 10 of these 14 starts. And 2 good ones in a row, I think there might be something there. Here is like a 30 team, 20 team, something throw out here. Moving on to this guy. You can tell me just to erase this. I don't have to keep this on the written article, but
no.
Jackson
have you not seen my team in the DW league?
No,
I mean, he's on there.
Jackson Kent for the Nationals. You know more about him than me. So.
Yeah, crafty lefty. The big thing about him this year was that he was averaging about 91 on his velo until this year it was up to 94, which is a huge jump. And once that happened, he jumped from AA to AAA, and now he just made his major league debut. He's the major league debut, probably pretty typical of most debuts. First 4 innings look great. Didn't give up anything. 5th inning, all kind of falls apart. So it's going to be a little while. I don't think he's going to be great here at the end of the season, but I do like him for beyond this season. And he seems to have been able to keep the velo jump. So it is definitely a change. Left-hander who has a lot of good stuff. And like you put here, pretty good K rate in the minors.
Yeah, 27% to put a number on that, and a 7.8% walk rate. That's like about average for the major leagues, but that's really low for the AAA. With I don't know what goes on there, that just walk rates are higher in the minors. I guess just lower quality pitchers, but so that's a 19% K minus walk in the minors for Kent. I didn't know about the velo. That even strengthens my case. You're not looking at him for a 15-team redraft league or anything like that, but if you need some innings, or if it's like a Sunday situation where you just need some shot at a win in a head-to-head league or something like that, like he's going to be in the rotation. They got rid of Littell and Michaelis. It was funny, they DFA'd Zach Littell, and I was like, wait, isn't he a little bit better than Miles Michaelis? Like, why? It seems like he got shorted there, and then they the Nationals read my article, of course, and they're like, that guy, yeah, you're right. Let's cut Michaelis too. So they got rid of him too. So it's a new look rotation for the Nationals, which they should be pretty interesting next year with that one dude. What's the Nationals' big pitching prospect that just had
Travis Sikora?
Sikora, yeah, he should be back. And they got some other.
They got was it Yarlin Susana?
Susana, yeah.
Although I think he's probably going to be a closer because he's just got. I mean, what did he throw? 103 the other day.
Yeah.
And in his first game back from
I
I
didn't
think it
know.
was
Yeah.
lat surgery.
Okay. And then Miguel Sime Jr., 19-year-old.
Mm.
He's ways away.
Yes, another very hard
But yeah.
thrower.
Yeah. So the Nationals have something cooking. It was a little bit.
Connolly early.
Yep.
They just picked up in the deal. Yeah. Yeah. They got
Abrams
something.
and Wood back for next year. Maybe they can continue some of the other breakouts with, we'll talk about Abimelec Ortiz in a minute. But this isn't really part of the conversation here, but the Nationals have some hope for the future. I'd be a little bit excited if I were a Nationals fan. There's some pitching help coming in Jackson Kent, maybe in some fantasy leagues right now. 2% owned. I mean, I guess, 2% owned. In CBS, this isn't even Fantrax where that would make sense with these 30-team leagues and stuff, but some people are onto it. Hitters, yeah, Zach Veen homered in a second at bat, insane minor league stats before coming up, had the big spring, or at least the big first couple weeks of spring where everybody was jumping on him, and it took him a while, but look at the numbers here. Zach Veen, he hit 327, 24 homers, 18 bags in 100 games in AAA. John wrote this up. And he comes up, hits a homer, and he's going to be in the Rockies lineup. Lots of home run and stolen base potential, with also a batting average boost at home. Anything else to add with Veen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was one of the bigger stories for the Rockies out of the spring, talking about giving up the drinking and put on 30 pounds. So he went from being a guy that was 6'4", 200 to 6'4", 230. I wonder if the steals are going to go away here now that he's up in the majors. I don't expect him to go to 0, but I wouldn't expect him to get past 20. We'll see how he does with the home runs. It's going to be very interesting. I think he's probably going to see, at least in the beginning, I expect him to be sort of the strong side of a platoon. But we'll see if he can become a guy that can hit left-handers as well.
He's going to be a big fab target this weekend because he just became eligible in those leagues where you can't pick the guy up until he plays a game. Only played one game on the 12th. Yeah, I guess they just didn't play yesterday. So Veen will have I think are they at home this week? I guess it doesn't matter. We're talking about adding them.
They're on the road at the moment, but they'll be home, I think, next week.
Okay. So Zach Veen, yeah, that's a must add probably. Maybe not in some 8-10 team league or something like that, but he's the top guy for sure. Abimelec Ortiz, I threw him on here because I was surprised you hadn't, but then you threw some cold water on it. I guess this guy's not a big dude. Let me give you the stats first, and I'll get you all hyped up, and then John can tell us why the sharper prospect mind isn't as excited about it. Ortiz is 31 plate appearances. Okay, grain of salt, but 21% barrel rate, 19% K rate, 4 homers already. Hitting number 2 for the Nationals. At least that's what he's projected at tonight. That must be what he hit the last couple games. They need him with Garcia gone. He's their first baseman. Lots of power shown in the minors, and he's finally here. But tell them what you told me earlier that made me less excited.
Yeah, I mean, he is well into his 24th year on this planet, so an older prospect. Was kind of the throw-in in the group of prospects that the Nationals got from the Rangers for Mackenzie Gore. Kind of a shorter guy. I'm sure they list him at 5'11". I'm sure he's not 5'11". They list him at 210. I'm sure he's much higher than 210. So kind of a chunky guy. Definitely first base only. And he has these moments. Throughout his prospect career, it has been ups and downs, highs and lows. So he's having a good moment now. I just don't know that that's going to last. And they have a lot of prospects coming up. They're going to need to find room to put people. And first base is usually a default for the guys who have pretty good bats, but maybe not a home at short or third or second, which they seem to be filling up with those prospects already. So I don't see a big future here for him. I think he could have a good finish to this season, and I think he might start. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's got legs like me.
Yeah.
There's no way he's 5'11" and 210. There's no way.
He's a Rowdy Tellez looking guy, but I guess shorter. It's probably not a good comp. I don't know. There's a picture of him on the screen for those of you just listening and confused.
This is a broad-shouldered, broad-chested kid who went to get his clothes at the Husky section of the store. So, yeah.
But the power, he'll probably hit some more home runs in August and September. DFS tonight, he is a smash play for anybody. There's very little crossover between the waiver wire listeners and the DFS player, there just basically aren't any DFS players that, at least they're out there. They read my stuff, but they don't ever say anything. They never show up. They're like in the basement hiding away. But he is going to be a DFS staple for me for the next couple of days because his price just hasn't adjusted and he keeps hitting bombs. So that was Abimelech Ortiz. Who else we got? Luis Rengifo. Yes. Man, yeah, he was so bad. He was so good a few years ago with the Angels when he was healthy, and then we kind of got excited about him going. Didn't he go to the Brewers and then got cut? And now he's on the Padres and doing some stuff. Tell us.
Yeah, like I put here, 2022, you thought this was a guy. He had 264, 17 home runs, pretty good speed, seemed to be playing a lot of different positions. Come back the next year, hits 264 again with 16 home runs. And then in 2024, he's hitting 300, but he got banged up. So he was a big sleeper pick for me in 2025, and he was just terrible. I guess not terrible, but at least bad enough that the Angels got rid of him, which makes no sense because they don't have any talent. Anyways, he got caught on with the Brewers at the very end of spring training, was just absolutely terrible, had a 200, 280, 254 line. Padres pick him up because they needed somebody, and all of a sudden he's magic again. Yeah, look at that line for his OPS.
Yeah, the moving OPS after the flat line there where he wasn't in the majors, it is flashed up to over 1. He had a 381 average, 104.1 OPS in July. But yeah, July and August in 100 plate appearances, 3 homers, 3 steals. Multiply that out, right? 100 times 6 is 600. That's about a season. This is stuff you shouldn't do, but we're going to do it. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 homers, 18 steal pace. That will not happen, but the Padres have found something there. And Luis Rengifo, there you go. Deep league. We're talking deep leagues. We can do whatever we want here. Nobody can. Or sorry, no, we're still talking shallow league. So
I put him in shallow league because I didn't know how many people might have had him left over from when he was still kind of good. So
yeah, you can do a little bit
on the border.
Sometimes you just want a guy that can, if he's not hitting or not hitting homers, he can steal a base there. Just give you some value in a categories league, and that's kind of always who he's been. Besides that terrible stint with the Brewers, Chase Meadroff, I put him on here. This is more of a OBP league thing, but I don't know. He's already beaten his preseason home run projection. I didn't see this guy hitting 12 homers, and that's what he has with a month and a half to play. OBP is at 356. He's one of these guys that just doesn't swing. He does not do what his name says. He does not chase because he does not swing. And the strikeout rate's fine, 23%, 10% walk rate. Again, a 356 OBP. 2 steals, though, so the steals have come down. But a bunch of hits lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits in his last 5 games. If hot is real, he is that. 3 homers since August 6th. And I don't know. He doesn't hit the ball hard. There's no real reason to believe that he can hit like 5 more home runs the rest of the year, but he's able to do it and he gets on base. So it's a money ball pick. Jake Mangum. One of the only things going right with the Pirates right now is Mangum. I don't think people understand. He's easy to miss, I guess.
Yes.
But Mangum's since July 1st, hitting 307. He's even got 3 homers and 7 steals playing every day. Now, O'Neal Cruz is rehabbing, but do you think Mangum with a 822 OPS, 307 average, he's got to stay in the lineup for the Pirates, right? Do you think it could just be like a Merlin Valdez going back down?
It could. He's definitely shown that maybe he could use a little more time in the minors. Mangum is a guy who I have on one of my 30 teamers who I picked up last year when he was with the Rays, and has been a godsend as I have to deal with Byron Buxton. And whenever he's down, Jake Mangum comes in and he does these things. I mean, like you said, hitting over 300. He was a near 300 hitter last year. It'll only get you a handful of home runs, but it might get you 30 steals. And when he's back up at the top of the order like he is now with the Pirates, he's going to get you the runs.
Yeah, last 2 seasons, he's got about 218 games, so that's not quite a season and a half. But he's hit 298, 341 on base percentage. He doesn't walk, but the average is high enough to keep the OBP above average. 7 homers, 48 steals. 48 steals. in about a year and a quarter, something like that, if that math is right. So Mangum overlooked and a pretty good ad, especially if you just need some steals and some batting average. A little Chandler Simpson light. Deep league hitter targets. I completely disagree with Asturi Ruiz being a deep league. Did you see my daily notes the other day? No hitter. If you take a liberty, if you take a big liberty, and we're in the land of liberty, we're taking liberties, and if you restrict it to only 150 plate, oh, there you go. You wrote it. I didn't. Sorry,
I read you all the time, John. Big fan.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, that's why you're here. Because John emailed me over the winter and just like sang my praises, and he says I would love to help you out, and that's how it happened. So that's the way to get in. Yeah, if you take the big liberty of limiting it to like 150 plate appearances for the year, you sum up every player's fantasy points scored, divide it by how many plate appearances they had. No player in baseball has been more efficient at scoring fantasy points than Asturi Ruiz. He homered off Skeens. He just steals a base every time he's on. It's a beautiful thing. The caveat is that it really only works in leagues where you can bench him when the Marlins do, because he's kind of a part-time player. But 28 steals for this dude in 150 plate appearances. It's a 74% attempt rate, and he's added 6 home runs, a new career high. It's all good for Asturi. Did I say it, or do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I picked him up yesterday, and of course he goes over 3. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
It's a beautiful thing. In my home league where I have him, it's a 10-team league, and I haven't even considered dropping him because I can swap him in when he's starting. So it's just like I get the alert, Asturi Ruiz is in the lineup, he goes right into mine, and he just smashes.
There you go.
But tougher to do if you have to start him all 7 days of a week when he's in the lineup 4 times or something like that. But yeah, he's certainly hit and played well enough to maybe get more playing time. Griffin Conine, another guy I thought you'd have on here, but I threw him on here. Griffin Conine, 13 home runs, a lot of strikeouts, but 13 homers and 944 OPS and just 177 plate appearances. And he's starting like 5 out of 7 days now, just hitting a lot of dongs, got some power.
Yeah, with Kyle Stowers out now, all of a sudden Conine becomes the new first base.
I think he's just better. Is he just better than Stowers? Doc would try to kill me for saying that, but
yeah, I'm not going to say he's better than Stowers. Conine is a guy that's he's been around for a while. I don't know that he's this is like peak Conine happening right now. So yes, if you are in a redrafter, this is an interesting guy to me in a dynasty league. No, thank you.
Yeah, Conine has only 3 fewer home runs than Stowers this year. Obviously, I'm cherry picking Stowers' bad year. He was excellent last year, but I like Conine, especially in DFS. Maybe he's one of those plays where he's just a little bit better than people think. And he's a 12-team league potential add if you need a power first baseman guy. Harry Ford, I don't know. He doesn't do much for fantasy leagues, but 811 OPS in August. He's been one of these Nationals guys, along with Jacob Young, who's also on the list here. They traded Meade. They traded Garcia. They put Wood on the IL, and you thought this lineup was just going to fall apart, but they are still one of the best offenses, powered by Abrams, of course, Abimelec Ortiz, Harry Ford, and Jacob Young. Jacob Young hitting for some power, 347, 2 bombs, 5 steals since July 1st. I mean, a lot to like there. So Ford and Young, don't know if the Nationals lineup can keep doing this. If you look at it and it's like, this is an ugly lineup, but they keep putting runs on the board. So there's 2 deep leagues, especially if you need a catcher or something. Harry Ford can get on base. Plate discipline's pretty good. Josh Baez, another Kate Anderson type thing. We think we're going to see Josh Baez?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, last year, a lot of people were talking about Weatherholt coming up for the Cardinals, and he just never did. Yeah. So it might be the Cardinals' way that they're just not going to bring him up. But I mean, I don't know what more he has to do in AAA to make them think that he doesn't deserve a chance. I mean, they got Jose Fermin and Brian Torres running out there in left field. I mean, what are we doing here? But okay. If they wanted to hold him back, fine. If they're afraid of what's going to happen with MLB pitching, fine. But I think, you give him a run of 100 plate appearances here at the end of the season, get him a little taste, and then he's ready to take off next year.
If the Cardinals subscribe to the MLB data warehouse idea that you need 100 plate appearances, why not get them now?
Do them now, yeah.
Just like you said. I'm just repeating what you said. Here is the list. A little trivia for you. I doubt you'll get this. This is going to be tough. There are 3 players in affiliated baseball, so not counting DSL rookie stuff, this year, A-ball to major leagues, that have 30 homers and 20 steals. Josh Baez is one. Do you have any idea who the other two could be. They're not.
So you
major
said
league.
30 home runs and 20
Yeah.
steals.
Yeah.
Blake Burke.
Yes.
From the Brewers.
Yeah.
If it was 20 and 30, I would say Eric Hartman, but you said 30-20.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third one is.
Carson Roccaforte.
No.
Yeah.
That is a Tim favorite that I just can't get down with.
Yes.
Okay.
He has exactly 30 and 20. He might have just eclipsed that.
You must have just done that, yes.
Baez is 34 and 21, 901 OPS. It's a high strikeout rate, 29%. But this is like
it's not that high though. It's not like Spencer Jones high. That's why I don't understand all the hate around the strikeout rate. Like if I'm a guy that's going to lead the minor leagues in home runs and I'm getting less than 30% strikeout rate, I can live with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's like a recipe for like a 35% K rate when he gets to the majors, and then he's going to work down from that. But yeah, you're right.
It won't be forever. What is he? 22?
Yeah, 23. Just turned 23.
Yeah.
27% K rate in his last 100 plate appearances. So I don't know. Yeah, like teams are happy to trade some strikeouts for a bunch of bombs, and that's what he's done. I mean, just an amazing season. And this is the perfect fantasy profile, right? You want homers and steals, and he's one of the best in the game at doing that. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's already on the 40-man Cardinals, so let's get this done.
Yeah, and if he would be like, if you're in a league where you can just add guys immediately, if you see that he's getting called up, like the no questions asked, you go get him, and it's a reasonable stash right now too. Another young guy, not nearly the same skill level, but Brett Bateman. The Blue Jays have just been, man, those lineups are funny. Like I sent their lineup the other day to my home league chat, and like I had heard of most of them. Shout out to me. But a lot of these guys are like, I never heard of half this lineup, and Brett Bateman is one. But good play discipline guy, right? I don't know. Tell us about Bateman.
I mean, he's your classic leadoff hitter type center fielder. Sort of from the a much less speedy Kenny Lofton world. He's going to slap it around a little bit. Might accidentally run into a home run here or there, but is a guy who handful of home runs every year. Pretty decent center fielder, so they kind of need a little better defense there in center field in Toronto. It makes a lot of sense for him to get pretty much playing time all the time, and as a left-handed hitter, has already made a couple starts against left-handed starting pitchers, so looks like they want him to be out there as much as possible. So if you're looking for a guy who's going to get some playing time, I think he's a good AL only, especially pickup.
I guess the Varsho trade facilitated that. He came up 2 days after the deadline. And yeah, 21% K rate. So we're not going to look at his numbers. Major League's got 29 plate appearances. So you said it well. Brett Bateman, if you need some help. And I didn't even know he was the center field specialist. So that's a clear runway to playing time. Sometimes that's all you need. So anything else? Well, that's the whole list. And this will be out when they're written, but that was a good pod. Anything else to add here before we wrap it up?
No, just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Obviously, August 14th, the deadline we talked about. We'll see who comes up from the minors. I expect there's going to be a big bunch of promotions here pretty soon. Minor league seasons, DSL season coming to an end soon. So those guys generally don't jump up into single A, but there might be a couple of those to keep an eye on, especially for the dynasty players.
I'm going to have to add a note to add Josh Baez Sunday when my waiver wire thing resets and I can add guys again for next week.
There you go.
Yeah, really doesn't make a lot of sense that he would stay in the minors and not come up, at least when that season ends. But that's it.
40-man already. So
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's the pod. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we bring the spree. Prospects, DFS, betting strategy. John's grumpy, Tim scouting like a man possessed. Doc drafting comeback stories better than the rest. But the tools are elite and the content's free. And your fantasy trophy gonna look prestigious. ML.